Have you ever sat and wondered, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get my shit together? Or maybe you feel like you have your shit together, but you can't seem to break through to the next level. You find yourself cycling around your goals, not fully jumping in, committing, or maybe you're like me and you love a good challenge. So you jump all the way in and then feel the whiplash of your emotions, fear, judgment, shame, overwhelm. Why do some humans have this unbreakable resilience while others seem to run and hide from their emotional discomfort? This is the question I ask myself on a daily basis, and the one I am determined to solve on this podcast. I'm here to ask the emotionally uncomfortable questions and help women thrive in all areas of their life. I'm a TEDx speaker, author of Dying to Be a Good Mother, and host of this podcast. I'm here to help women take radical responsibility for how they want to feel in all areas of their life so they can show their children how good life can feel. I started my career as a social worker, helping adults see and understand their children's behavior. But it wasn't until stage 4 cancer in 2013 that pushed me to take a deeper stand for change, uncovering how cultural expectations sabotage our dreams. I've been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, Real Simple, Google, Mind Body Green, and more. And the number one question I get asked over and over again is, Heather, how do you do it all while having energy left over? Simple answer is, I don't. I plan my week in alignment with how I want to feel. And I want to show you exactly how to do this yourself. So head on over to Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/energy. heatherchauvin.com/energy. I have some freebies over there for you. Videos, PDFs, bonuses, how to stop yelling, how to hold healthy boundaries, and the common reasons why women block their success. Let's dive in to today's episode. Stop wasting your precious time and energy on shit that doesn't matter. All right. Are you ready for it? I am coming to you live, pre-recorded. I'm driving, hands-free, and I'm just riffing today. I've been getting so many questions on Instagram because I've been sharing some reels about, my time and energy hacks and like some practical step-by-step strategies. And I get these questions and people still asking the same question of like, but how? And there's so many times in life when we believe that somebody else has the answer. When somebody else actually knows ourselves, better than we know ourselves. And I think this is the core issue of what's going on when people are believing that they have to hustle in order to attract the life that they want. Because we live in a culture that believes do, we become sheep. And when you become a sheep, you don't take ownership for how you want to lead your own life. You just follow the pack and you don't ever question and say, hey, like that doesn't seem to be working. So why is everybody following that path over there? Let's try this. So today, this conversation was prompted because I got a message on Instagram from an old client, and she was reflecting on how previously, when we started working together a few years ago, she would wake up with intense panic, like almost like a panic attack. And that energy was, the first thought or story that she had in the morning was, I don't have enough time to get everything done today. So immediately her nervous system was in fight or flight, and she was just like, not enough. Very restrictive, very controlling, anxious, panicky. Mother of 4, has a very successful business and she's also a nurse, so she's got a lot going on. And her desire was to grow her business. But she also had a desire to feel more connected to her children. She felt like she was really fucking up as a mother. She felt like she was failing. And when we started working together, we slowly, as I do with everybody, I always ask them, how do you want to feel? And then I teach them how to reverse engineer their life in alignment with how they want to feel. And that's what we do in our Mastery Business program. And so as she started doing the work, you could see her energy shifting. And when she was reflecting on this, she said, Heather, I don't even have that thought anymore. Like, I can't tell you the last time I physically had the thought of, I don't have enough time. And this goes back to, the question that I tell people is, or when I, not tell people, but when I started this conversation, this podcast, when I said, stop wasting your time and energy on shit that doesn't matter. Because when you have a belief that suffering equals success, or that you on a deep level need to suffer and feel extreme pain, and that you are worthy of feeling like shit, like really, like you are worthy of feeling like shit, or you can't make money unless you're grinding, or if you want to get to the next level in your life, you barely have to you barely have to be alive, and you're willing to do whatever it takes and hustle and grind and all of that shit. And here you are, barely hanging on by a thread in whatever area of your life it is. It might be parenting, it may be a relationship, it may be financially, it might feel restrictive with your time and your energy, and maybe your body, maybe your health is starting to, your body's starting to knock at the door and be like, hello, please pay attention to me. It's talking to you, it's trying to say something. And you just feel like you're playing whack-a-mole in your life. You're like, I don't freaking know where to focus my energy and attention. I'm just all over the place, and I'm waking up having panic attacks. And then when I go ask for help, someone gives me medication, or they tell me to meditate or take a deep breath, and I just want to punch them in the face. I'm telling you, there is another way to be in the world, but you have to literally unlearn. You have to remember who you were before the world told you who you had to be. And the more work I do on myself, and the more work I do with women and children, the more I realize that this is the work. It has nothing to do with training you to become a different person. That's what sheep do. That's what people do who follow a crowd. That's why society is where it is, because people buy into a belief, they hang on to it, and then insecure people keep running with it, and then everyone ends up sick, miserable, depleted, in debt, and fucking fatigued, overworked, exhausted, and working in a system that is broken. And so when I say stop focusing your energy on shit that doesn't matter, what I mean by that is stop focusing your energy and attention on shit that doesn't matter to you. Shit that doesn't matter to you. What do you want? Do you want to feel like shit? Do you want to feel like you never have enough time? Do you want to be yelling at your kids? Do you want to be embarrassed by how you've let yourself go? Do you chronically want to feel like you are never good enough? Because when our actions, our daily choices, our moment by moment choices, we have to realize that those actions are actual habits. And our habits dictate our outcome. So let me give you an example. In October, I'm going to be running a full marathon. I decided at the beginning of the year, why not? Why the fuck not? I've done 2 half marathons. It was something on my to-do list. I don't know why I said yes to it, because it scares the shit out of me. And my tendency, my past habitual pattern, behavioral pattern, has been to avoid, show up the day of the race and injure myself. Why? Because then I don't have to admit that I actually wanted to complete a goal and be proud of myself. Because if I actually admitted that, I would have to do the work, which would just be emotionally uncomfortable for the moment, but it's not hard. I just have to put in the work. I have to run 30 minutes to start. And I don't even have to run the whole time. I could run, walk. And so that's what I've been doing. I have asked myself, how do I want to feel while I train? And I want it to feel fun. I want it to feel playful. I want it to feel easy, emotionally uncomfortable in the moments to develop the habits, but I want it to feel easy. And so what I did is I put time on my calendar, and what do you know? I start avoiding. I start procrastinating. I start, putting other things on top of those 30 minutes. And then I'm like, no, come back, Heather. Are you in integrity? Are you in alignment with how you want to feel? Are you committed? No, I'm not committed. Because if I was committed, I would probably hire somebody, or I would commit, meaning I would have a accountability partner, a running partner, or I would invest in some capacity, time, money, or energy. So I was like, no, I'm not committed. Mentally, I knew I wasn't committed. So then what I did is I called up a friend who runs, and I said, will you be my running buddy? This is what I need. And she said, awesome, you can be that for me too. So what did we do? We have running meetings in the morning, and we get our running in together. And you can find these people anywhere. And this is about creating win-win relationships with people, where what does she need from me, and how can I be of service to her, and how can she be of service to me? And this is why we need each other. So going back to the original kind of how we stop spending energy on shit that doesn't matter. What do you think I was filling that 30 minutes with? What do you think? Scrolling on the internet, dicking around, refolding my socks, all the crap that you do to avoid doing the thing that you know you need to do. So it's not that I don't have the time or that I didn't have the time. It's that I'm wasting energy on shit that doesn't matter because I'm actually avoiding a feeling. Let me repeat that again and write this down. I'm wasting energy. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting money on shit that doesn't matter because I'm avoiding a feeling. And the feeling that I'm avoiding is going to be fear in some capacity. I don't even need to pay attention to what is it? What is it? It's fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of who cares. It's an emotionally uncomfortable feeling that I'm avoiding. So now that I'm aware of that, and I say, stop, wasting energy on shit that doesn't matter. When you actually sit down and ask yourself, what do I want? And it doesn't need to be in every area of your life. It could be one area that's really screaming to get your attention. It could be your money. It could be parenting. It could be your marriage, partnership. It could be your body, mental health. It could be a career. Pick one area. And then ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this area of my life? How do I want to feel? I want to feel good. I want to feel energized. I want to feel proud. Awesome. Now, go to your calendar, because I like a good physical calendar. I hate being super organized and strategic, but I love a good physical calendar. So I go to my calendar and I do a time log of my day. and I write down everything I'm doing for that day. And then I ask myself, how many actions today were in alignment with how I wanted to feel in that one area of my life? Like, what energy? Maybe sometimes you can't even physically see the actions you're taking because it's more of a mental action. You had to self-coach yourself. Or you said you were sitting at the table too long and doing work, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go outside for a walk. I'm going to get up and I'm still going to do work, but I'm going to transition it to my phone, and I'm just going to go outside for a walk to get some fresh air. So sometimes you can't physically write that shit down. But you're asking yourself, how much energy did I invest today in what I wanted? So a lot of times when people ask me questions about time and energy, I don't understand what they're actually asking me. Because most of the time, the questions are coming from a place of fear or excuses. That if we were very honest with ourselves, not very honest, if we were honest with ourselves and we sat down and said, okay, this is where I want to go. This is how I'm going to get there. Now I'm going to put it on my calendar. Now I'm going to look at my calendar every single day and I'm going to feel what I'm avoiding. I'm literally going to feel that feeling that I'm avoiding. I'm going to feel that urge. I'm going to feel that emotion. And I'm going to process it. I'm going to keep figuring out why it comes up. I'm going to keep figuring out why I keep sabotaging myself. I'm going to keep figuring out what the fuck this shit is. It's not going to be pretty. It's messy in the middle. It's super messy in the middle. And this is the part that perfectionists hate. Perfectionism fucking hates the messy middle. Because you feel like you're in the middle of a tornado and you can't actually ground yourself because you're just surrounded by feelings. You gotta feel. You gotta feel all your shit. So you can let the joy in. So you can let the freedom in. So you can let the bliss in. So you can literally teach that little girl or that little boy or child sitting next to you that's looking at you that says, Mom, I'm terrified. I don't want to take that big leap. What if I fail? And you have to have the courage to look at them and say, I know that feeling. I've been on the other side of it many, many times. And I believe you have the exact same courage that I did and I do to become the person that I know you're capable of becoming. Do less. Be more focused. Be wildly intentional on where you invest your energy. And you will figure out what it feels like to be rich. There it is. You just listened to the Emotionally Uncomfortable podcast. If you want to take this conversation to the next level, head on over to our private Facebook group community, heatherchauvin.com/Facebook. My last name is spelled CHAUVIN. That's heatherchauvin.com/Facebook. Also, if you are a huge fan of this show, please rate and review it on iTunes. Every review helps another woman like you take back control of how she wants to feel and become emotionally uncomfortable. I truly believe the better we feel, the more alive we become. This is how we are going to change the world. And if you've been watching me for a while, if you've been on the fence and you're curious, how can Heather help me? Head on over to heatherchauvin.com/work with me to check out my mastery and mastery business coaching programs. That's heatherchauvin.com/work with me.